Thank you for tuning into Iris Inspires TV. We will be starting in a few minutes. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share with others. Get comfortable, and let's have a real talk about real experiences.
Center of empowerment, just breathe. Iris inspires, center of empowerment, just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe.
Thank
Greetings, good evening, and Tenacious Thankful Thursday to everyone. How are you guys doing? Hi there, Shay. How you doing? If you guys can put in the chat where you're listening in from this week, I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share. We ask you to do this only because it helps us get into the algorithm, and it's working. So make sure that you like, share. You got a little bit of time to let your people know that we're live. I got something else for you before we get started. I want you to check this out, okay?
You've been running on empty, but you still show up strong, holding everything together all day long. You don't talk about the pressure, you just do what needs to be done. But even hearts made of courage need somewhere to come undone. You don't know the world you're breaking. You don't have to earn your rest. Take a little time, just a moment for you. Let your shoulders drop. Let the quiet move through. You're not giving up, you're getting back your flame. Take a moment for you. Let your shoulders drown. Let the quiet move through. You're not giving up, taking back your flame. You've been loving through the tire, through the worry and the strain, but love don't disappear when you step out of the rain. You're more than what you carry, more than what you say. You deserve the same compassion that you give away. Sit down, breathe slow.
All righty, you guys. I want to thank you. That was Shulamite Jazz. Check out the channel. They have beautiful, 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 beautiful inspirational music on there. Shulamite Jazz. All righty. Make sure you check out that station. Again, I want to thank, we got Pomona in the house. We got Los Angeles, California in the house. Who else do we have out there that's listening to us tonight? Let's see. I'm trying to get my screen right. My screen don't want to cooperate. There we go. Is that it? There it is. There it is. Yes, that song is a very powerful song. It sets the tone for us tonight, right? To remind you that it's okay to care for yourself. It's okay to pause and take time for yourself. So I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you again for joining us. We're going to go ahead and jump right in because I know it is a weeknight, and you still have time to text and let folks know that we are here live, and put in the chat where you are listening in from. And also, do not forget to ask your questions and your comments. I want to start off. Let's see. Here we go. I want to start off by saying this. I've been asked, why aren't we speaking more about the economic destruction in our country? Come on, take a deep breath. And the inflamed, blatant racism. I've been asked, how is what we're doing going to make a difference, right? Our families are under attack, food insecurity, housing disparities. And too often our churches are failing us through scandal and silence. And to not even give voice to that and say it is a disservice to us and our being, our spirit, right? The news and our timelines are already saturated with what is going on. And you don't need me to come here to regurgitate what you already know is going on, right? You come to this space, this sacred pause. It's not about just a feel-good talk. It's not avoidance. It's not disengagement. Sacred pause is more than survival alone. It's more than survival alone. It is about, what we're doing here is setting and establishing an agenda that goes beyond survival toward legacy. It's sacred, right? Sacred pause is activism because we're activating ourselves to fight the fight and to have something left after the fight. How about that? It transforms us on a cellular level, regulating the nervous system so that PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and or post-traumatic slave syndrome, and cognitive dissonance are no longer ruling our reactions and response to life. Sacred pause is about building and implementing clear, repeatable systems for healing, systems that can be practiced, taught, sustained across generations. This work is very intentional. It is structured. It is transferable, meaning that healing should not be or is not an accidental access. It is rooted, embodied, and repeatable for individuals, families, and communities. What I teach is what I live. What I share is what I practice, is what I've learned. I've learned a lot through trial and error. I've learned a lot, hoping, wishing that I wouldn't have to do this the rest of my life, only to embrace that this is my mandate and my call. And if you guys have known me any amount of time, you know that I have consistently talked about the importance of us understanding, appreciating our breath and who we are, whom's we are, the power we have, right? And going beyond, getting to the root of whatever is stopping and blocking spiritual trauma, emotional trauma, mental trauma. So I am not a first responder for emotional, mental, and spiritual trauma. I am a witness that this lived experience, embodied wisdom, and purpose fully integrated will transform your life. Yes, it's not comfortable, but it is necessary. All righty. And so I want to thank you for your time tonight. I want to thank you for stopping in. We have Orangeburg, South Carolina in the house. Hey, love it. I appreciate that. So what we're going to do, we're going to get started. We're going to take some deep breaths before we jump into this week's session. I want you to take a deep inhale through the nose and exhale. And then I want you to make sure your feet are planted on the floor, planted where you are. Just relax in your breath and put your right hand on your chest and your left hand on top of the right hand. And I just want you now to just notice your breath. Not deep inhale, unless that's what you feel like doing. Just notice your breath. Notice your heartbeat. Notice it, yes. That breath that was given to you, me, we, all of us. And then when it was given to us, we became a living soul, activated to create, to project, to move forward in confidence, knowing that the work set before us, what we are standing in, is opportunity, even in the face of what appears like lack, what appears like a block. Okay. And so last week, what we asked, before I want to do a little brief overview, we asked, what does stillness stir in me? The question was, what does stillness stir in me, and what might it be trying to tell me? Did any of you that was with us last week, did you sit with that? What is stillness? How did you feel being still? Put it in the chat. What came up for you during the times and moments where you just had to call yourself to be still? All righty. Stillness, remember, it is activism. It's an action word. It is not lazy or idle. Sacred pause. We define what sacred is. Something set apart, dedicated, or worthy of deep reverence. Sacred pause is the ultimate self-care. Okay? It's the ultimate self-care. Important enough for one's soul, mind, body, and spirit. Being connected to divinity, to the all-powerful creator, recognizing that it's inside of me, not out there somewhere trying to get to me, but it's in me, right? It is a holy time. A holy time. We are in a holy time, a sacred time, a time and a season to shapeshift our future, not only by surviving, but learning how to live, heal, and release trauma, responses to triggers and harsh realities and drastic change. And that's what we're in, right? And so our intention is to give you and offer you a space to investigate, do the inquiry, and then allow yourself the space to heal, pull it up and out, and then replace it, right, with healthy tools that cause us not to just survive or only survive. Remember, we talked about our ancestors, our forefathers, the ones that's gone before us. They survived so that we could live, so that we have life and live more abundantly, live more effectively. So these were the questions about that we asked on last week. So this week we want to talk about what's the distinction between toxic resilience and healthy resilience. What is the distinction between toxic and healthy? To be still, I'm working on putting me first and noticing who's for me and who's not, paying attention to self in decisions. Okay, that's good. So this is the statement is, to be still, I'm working on putting me first and noticing who's for me and who's not, paying attention to self in decisions, right? And so when we do that, a lot of times we've been conditioned to believe that looking at self is not we're not supposed to do that, right? We're not supposed to look at self. And one of the things we brought up is that it is impossible to love God and not love self. It is impossible for me to not honor self and not honor God. This is called alignment, when we are in alignment with the divine purpose and call that God has for us. That was good. Stillness, yes. So what is resilience? We kind of touched on it last week in the introduction. Resilience. Can someone put in the chat what do you say resilience is? What is resilience? You want to put in the chat, what is resilience? What is resilience? What is resilience? Okay. All righty. Resilience is the dynamic capacity to adapt, recover, and thrive in the face of adversity, trauma, or significant stress. So I'm going to repeat that. It's the ability to, or the capacity to adapt, recover, and thrive in the face of adversity, trauma, or significant stress. So if that being the case, what is the distinction between healthy resilience and toxic resilience? Anybody have any ideas you want to put in in the chat. Any ideas? Resilience is often praised. We celebrate the ability to endure, to push, to survive difficult seasons. But not all resilience is healthy. So here we go. We have resilience when we are resilient in a behavior that is producing results in our physical body, right? Or and in our physical world. Okay, it's not healthy. It's creating unhealthiness in our body. It's producing headaches, migraines, the inability to process. Cognitive dissonance is the inability to process. So we're responding, we're reacting consistently, but we're not thinking it through. And many times, have you not said, if I had thought about that, I would have done that a little differently, right? And so what we have, because we have been in such attack, our communities, our families, right? We have been under so much attack from an economic standpoint, from a political standpoint, in our schools, in our churches, in our homes, in our communities. It's a consistent attack, right? So we've been under a great deal of stress. And so what happens is when the mind is under continual stress, right, it doesn't process the same. It reforms. But when we pause and get that oxygen flowing, try that on. Try that on. Yeah, you might feel a little lightheaded because what happens is you're getting oxygen in the areas of our body that you don't normally get oxygen in, because most times we're doing what's called shallow breathing. All righty. Okay. So toxic resilience teaches us to keep going even when our body is asking us to stop. And so we say we can't stop because we got to do this. We got to take care of this. I'm responsible for this. I want to get off the merry-go-round, but I can't because I have so many responsibilities. I have responsibilities I want to let go of. That's not a part of my purpose as I am discovering my purpose. I'm doing this work to survive. I'm doing this activity to survive. I'm on the treadmill of life surviving. And you're asking me now to take a pause and an inventory and now determine whether this is an activity, even career choices that we sometimes make, right? Is something that we want to continue in. I can't afford to do that right now, right? I need the money. I got to feed the children. I have sickness that I can't attend to. My body, yes, it is telling me I need to slow up. I do have pains and aches. I am having a difficult standing up, walking up and down the stairs, but I have time to take care of that. I don't have time to take care of that because I got to go to work. I got to go to this meeting. I got to take care of this, and I don't have time. Who's ever said that? I just don't have the time. Anybody said, I just don't have the time to go to the doctor. I don't have the time to take a nap, even if it's not go to the doctor. I don't have the time to get a mammogram, to get a checkup. I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have the time for that. Shay says, this is so me right now. I don't have the time because I have so many responsibilities. Who has time? What I know for certain, take it from bought experience, if you will, that when we do not take the time to take care of our mental health, that's where we have the stress. I can remember there are times in our life where we carry more stress than other times, but our life should not be a continual ball of stress. And so when it's a continual ball of stress, 5, 10, 20, 30 years of stress, it takes a toll on our physical body. It takes a toll on our mind. You know how you will begin to say, we have brain fog or overwhelm. We get numb. We just check out. When we overdose on a lot of the news, that's what happened. We have difficulty planning or even imagining a future. I got to take care of it right now. Or we're constantly rehashing over what happened and how it happened. Why did it happen? If I had, coulda, shoulda, woulda, did it. All right. But we're resilient in the fact that we're showing up, we're waking up, getting up, and showing up. But the backdrop is unhealthy. Okay, because we're not taking the time to allow our body, our mental, to heal. Okay. Healthy resilience. Let me back up. So, toxic resilience teaches us to keep going even when the body is asking us to stop. We normalize stress. We say things like we've been saying about our community. Oh, we'll survive, right? We'll be okay. Will we? Are we okay now? Let's tell the truth. Are you okay? No, you're not okay with what's going on. You're not okay with the financial situation in your household. You're not okay with the emotional stress that you've been under. You don't like what you see that's going on in the government. No, but we normalize stress. Like this is just how it is, right? We override fatigue. We have tiredness and then we have fatigue, exhaustion. One of the things I know for certain, when you're operating in purpose, this is the other key. Take this as a nugget. When you're operating in purpose, you have those moments of when you're exhausted. So I've learned, my body has taught me, I have no choice. Whatever, I have to shut stuff down and I have to go lay down and my body will make me rest because I have caused my body to function at such high level of stress because I say, well, I work well under stress, under pressure. What is that? Have you ever asked yourself, what do I mean that I function well under pressure? Why do we feel like we have to function well? We get it done under pressure. Where did that mindset come from? Why do we see that as all okay? To call endurance strength, even when it costs us our health, our clarity, and our connections. I'm going to repeat that. So toxic resilience, that we call endurance as strength, even when it costs us our health, clarity, and connection. As caregivers, most times we're running on fumes. Let me say that. And one of the things that we talk about of the importance, it is the importance to carve out times throughout the day where you make an appointment with yourself to take care of self, take care to rest the mind, to rest the body, right? To rest. And we talk about, if you look at some of our previous broadcasts, we go into deep discussion around that. Taking the time to rest the mind, the body. What is the difference in healthy resilience? Healthy resilience allows for pause. It allows you to pause. It allows you to be still, to recalibrate, to refocus, to realign, to align. Because what happens is when we're operating in toxicity, we find ourselves latching on to relationships, business-ships, friendships, intimateships that we wouldn't ordinarily connect in if we had allowed ourselves rest, the pause. And so rest is the pause. So I think we associate rest with sleeping, because you can sleep and not rest. Rest is allowing the body to just be still in the moment. All righty. Make sense? Any comments or questions so far? It makes space for breath. Healthy, resilient. It honors the body as a source of wisdom, not something to dominate or silence. This is why we say, just pay attention. Don't do your best not to judge whether this thought is good, bad, I shouldn't have, should I? Just what's coming up in my mind? What am I thinking? What is the backdrop? Right? What are the conversations? What is the shadow telling me? We talk about the shadow. What is that saying to me that I'm not verbalizing? The conversations that I'm having with self. I'm saying one thing with my mouth. I'm presenting one way, but that backdrop conversation is saying something totally, completely different, right? And so the Creator created our mind, our soul, our physical and spiritual body to function and operate in harmony with creation. This is good. But what if you are afraid to do healthy things when you have been so used to dealing with toxic things and or people? Excellent question. Excellent question. We have normalized the toxicity. And so we know what this is. We don't know what being still and choosing differently is, but I do know if I operate and manipulate this a certain way, I'm going to get this result. Is that what you mean? Yeah. I know this is not a healthy behavior or a healthy situation, but I do know that if I do X, Y, Z, I'm going to get LMNOP. But if you're telling me now that I need to recalibrate, right, and start dealing with and releasing and eliminating the toxicity in my life, how do I do that? As you start developing the trust of your voice, developing the trust of the Spirit of God within you, and that comes with stillness, okay? When you start trusting the no, the yes, the checks that you get in your spirit, many times we don't trust it because we feel like it has failed us. And I'm not talking about out there somewhere. I'm talking about really learning. We've been taught not to trust. We've been taught that, you're unworthy. You can't make the decisions. Yes. Yes. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Or I've made so many wrong decisions in the past. Most times it's because we haven't given ourselves the opportunity to recalibrate, to trust the Spirit. We learn to trust ourselves and the God in us. So remember, when I say self, I'm talking about God in us. I'm not talking about a separateness, okay? I'm talking about the alignment of the Holy Spirit within, the alignment of the knower, the alignment of discernment within, and trusting it. That comes from being still. That answer your question? And sometimes what you have to do, what happens is that fear, that anxiety, that apprehension, it begins to settle. All righty? Make sense? Chronic self-doubt. Okay? When we're operating in toxic resilience, we have chronic self-doubt. So we're running against time. We're constantly moving against time because we're running out of time. So we're pushing, we're going, we're doing, because we're doubting that if we don't stop or just slow up just a little bit, slow it up. Someone told me once, if you can't slow up a little bit and someone pushing you to make a decision quick like that, usually it's the wrong decision because they don't want you to think. Right? Don't think about it, just do it. In some situations, that's feasible, but most times we need to pause and think. When we learn to trust, we have to forgive ourselves here. We have to forgive ourselves and breathe in new life, trusting that we will be all right even when things shift. I'm learning this. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have to trust it. We got to trust that we're going to be all right. And not only are we going to be all right, we're already all right. Nothing missing, nothing broke. Not trying to fix nothing, whole and complete. I affirm that I am whole and complete, nothing missing, nothing broke. And what leaves my space, my world, right? What is no longer serving, whatever is no longer serving the good of everybody involved. And we do know relationships sometimes, they have, it may feel imbalanced. However, if there is not a service, a cyclical service, right? We learn to release it. A people pleasing and withdrawing, confusion between danger and safety. We're unable to make those clear distinctions because we're in override and overdrive and stress, right? We haven't allowed ourselves to develop our discernment, develop the skill of trusting what we're the gut. You know how we say, I got that feeling, that queasiness in my stomach. You ever had that? When we pause and breathe and pray and meditate, we get the clarity on what direction to do, or even how to do, what to call, or you even bring in that energy brings in. I said I was hot this week. I was thinking of folks, and they was calling within 5 minutes. I was like, I was just thinking about you, right? And then I got a phone call. That's that connection. We're in alignment and connection, right? And we start sending that signal, a frequency out. And so we can send the same frequency out in the area of creating a future that looks different than our past by standing in right now, being present, releasing what happened. Do you realize what we started this? What about two? Well, I don't see my clock. We started this about 30 minutes ago. That 30 minutes is gone and it's never coming back. It's not coming back. Now we can rehearse what happened in the last 30 minutes by looking at the video, right? We can recount it. We can remember it because there's something here that's beneficial for us. But the actual time is never coming back. We can only take what we learned in this time in our present moment and push it forward. Make sense? Okay. So the long-term effects of toxic resilience is depression, anxiety disorder, disassociation, the inability to respond correctly, or we're always on 10 when we respond. We're always on alert. We're holding our breath and don't realize we're holding our breath. Right? When you start taking those intentional where you say, wait a minute. Let me be still with myself. I do it when I'm driving. Traffic is heavy. I get in the moment, right? So that I can make clear, so I can see clear decisions. We start having, not remembering things. I know for myself, I know when I'm in override or I'm in stress mode, because some things that happened to me, actually, as a matter of fact, as recent as a week or so ago, in the past 7 days, I was driving and I was looking at my dashboard, looking for the air conditioner, the button to push. And as I was looking for it, trying to push it, I had so much going on in my mind at the time, in the moment, that I was like, what am I doing? What was I doing? Right? And then I said, well, wait a minute, girl, you come on, work your work, do your thing. And I paused and I started breathing and I started settling myself, settling my mind, what I was thinking about, what was on my mind, and remembering who I am. That right now, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, right? Be it intentional or unintentional or even of my own making, because it was not my intention. I forgive myself from moving out of time and out of sync because of worry, fear, scarcity mentality. And I step in the moment of more than enough right now, of abundance and overflow right now, for clarity of mind and thinking. I visualize and I see where I'm going, despite where I've been. Come on, take a deep inhale. This is called sacred pause. The ultimate self-care. Sacred pause can also include walking, running, going to the beach. We have another question here. All this can include sacred pause. The question is, why don't people like when you decide to stop being toxic and want to have a healthy life? Why can't they accept change? Why is it that so hard for them? Because people they get accustomed, they like you unhealthy because they get to manipulate you. That's why. And when people can no longer manipulate you, or they think that they know you, they want to keep you in a box. But it doesn't matter. What you have to remember is it don't matter what nobody else thinks. What do you think? Who are you? Who am I? Who am I showing up? And then you continuously show up for that. This is how we learn to trust ourselves, right? Too. This is how we begin to build the muscle of healthy resilience. we keep the words and the commitments that we make to ourselves. We become impeccable with the commitments and the words that we make to ourselves. So if I commit to myself that I am not going to eat sugar for 7 days, I don't eat sugar for 7 days. If I commit to myself that I'm not engaging in conversation that is dragging my spirit down, right? Or relationships that I don't feel is not mutual anymore. And as much as my body has gotten accustomed, right? Familiar and comfortable in that pocket, I'm not going to do it. And so I'm going to replace that. I have to replace it. You've got to refill your cup with healthy. So if you remove the toxicity, you got to now refill it with healthy. So yes, it can include affirmations. Yes, it includes breath work. Yes, it includes spiritual work, not religious work. There's a distinction. And I'm not saying you don't have your religion, and I'm not saying you don't have your fellowship, but I am saying if that religion and fellowship is manipulative and pulling you back into behaviors you don't want to be a part of, then you need to eliminate it in this season. And you have to allow your spirit, your mind, to be recreated. There's a scripture that says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, for those Bible scholars. And we say that, and it's with some type of, mysticism layer on it. But what does that truly mean? Let this mind, what was the mind of Christ? What is the mind of Christ, right? What is that? It's more than regurgitating the scripture. It's how you think, right? How you operate in this life. Sin is, I don't know why I'm going down this road, but I'm going to go down it. Sin, we equate it to an action, right? And I submit to you, sin is the offense against spirit. I offend my spirit. I don't keep my word. I'm not impeccable with my word to self. Remember, we are not disconnected from God. All right? Not a disconnecting. And so when we understand, right, that we're whole and complete, nothing missing, nothing broke, I'm connected and aligned with the creator of all life, then I realize that when I choose out of fear and not the impeccability of my word, the power of my word and my breath, because my life, my word, my life, my word, my breath, my life, my word, my life, my breath. Okay? That's where the offense comes from. And then we start creating downfalls and habits and behaviors that reinforce that we're not worthy, that we can't trust stuff. Okay, did that answer your question? I hope it did. It's because people don't want to let you go when they think they know who you are, because they don't get to manipulate you anymore. You don't have to fuss and fight about it. It is what it is. When you get to that place of, okay, and you know who you are and you're standing out, and what happens is one or two things. They will see you as you see you and as you have been created to be, or they will leave out of your life. They will exit themselves out of your life completely. All righty. So what are some of the healing supports? And I've already talked about it. Healing supports for the brain to reconnect us to healthy resilience. All righty. Awareness, safe relationships, consistent, attuned connection. This is one of those spaces. And the intention is to develop healthy relationships, right? Where you are safe to be your authentic self, to think for yourself. All righty. Therapy, if you need therapy and counseling, that's available as well. Yes, it did. That helps as well. Glad to hear that, Shay. Mindfulness and grounding. And that mindfulness and grounding is the breath work. It's learning how to chill. And I have shown you guys several things to do, several breathing exercises. We call it the box, where you inhale. You inhale on 4, hold, and then exhale on 4. 2, 3, 4, slowly through the mouth. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale through the mouth. Okay, so those are breathing exercises. Rocking it out, and just paying attention to your breath. All right, paying attention. These are some of the somatic things you can do. Tapping. Loosen up the pockets. We have pockets in our body, especially around our chest, our abdomen area. Abdomen. Pat. Don't be afraid to touch yourself. Pat. Breathe. Alrighty. Loosening up those pockets. Adequate rest and nutrition. Yeah, get some rest. It's a difference in sleeping and resting. When you wake, have you ever woke up and still was tired because you didn't get enough rest? Because we're not resting. Our mind is still going, righty? And so one way to eliminate an unrestful night is to journal, right? Get it out on paper. Paper won't talk about you. It won't harm you. It won't beat you up. It won't call you stupid. It won't say, look at you, you're ignorant. It won't do none of that. It'll take everything you got to say. Get it out. All right. And then after you get everything out, find gratitude. Find gratitude that you are able to feel the emotions. Find gratitude in being able to release the emotions. Find gratitude in knowing that me forgiving doesn't mean it didn't happen. Forgiveness doesn't equate to whatever the offense was to self or what that was done to you or that you may have done to someone else. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means it happened, but I give myself grace, compassion to release it. I don't have to use that as the conduit to getting to the other side. There's good success and there's an unhealthy success. There's healthy resilience and unhealthy resilience. And we are looking at the result in our community, in our world, of unhealthy resilience and success. All righty. I talked about journaling. Also, we have our love support groups. And so we offer peer support. And so oftentimes sharing your experience in a safe, healthy, brave space. What I know for certain, you cannot stay down, heavy, or discouraged when you begin to share with others in a space where that's what you're doing and they want to hear it. Okay. All right. It's impossible for you to stay heavy. I have been in situations where I've had clients I've had to work with, and I started off where I may have not been in the best physical state, mental state, or spiritual state. Physically, I was not feeling well. Okay. But I showed up because of my commitment to that appointment. And after doing the work that I had to do with myself, to center myself, to be present, I have found myself after it was complete, that whatever I was feeling in that moment when I started, it lifted. Because I allowed myself to get out of myself, right? And I allowed the energy of the Holy Spirit to energize me. And I use the gift of my storytelling to inspire and uplift someone else. I got out of myself, got out the way. All right, so we have the peer support group leader. Well, I'll share that at the end. The peer support, you can participate that in the love groups, okay? Spiritual and meaning-making practices within itself. So what does that mean? You get to define what those experiences are, okay? You get to create those experiences. What are the practices? Prayer is one, but let me share with you, prayer is when you are affirming and talking to the creator. Okay, meditation is when you are still and you're allowing spirit, you're allowing to talk to you, being still, to visualize, right? To visualize, to see, to allow your body to get excited about the future. When is the last time you got excited about the future? Where you was like, yes, you generated that energy. What would it feel like if you had everything paid? If everything was going the way you had envisioned in your mind right now, what would it feel like? So you generate that energy in your body, okay? And you go, yes, right? Healthy resilience. And so then it refocuses and recalibrates you to go the next mile in healthiness, in clarity, in purpose, in intention. All right? Any questions, any comments? So healthy resilience is not about enduring more. No, it's about us responding and replying in awareness, fully aware, no blank dark spots. I'm aware, I'm in the moment, and I'm clear. All right? I might be afraid, or I might be scared, because I believe there's a difference in afraid and scared. I might be scared. I might be a little scared because I don't know. This a little different. So I might be a little scared, right? But I am aware, and I'm walking through it. I'm walking through this one, and I'm not going back to old behaviors. And even if I slip up, I eat a donut, chocolate chip cookie. I engage in some conversation that is not healthy for you, me, or them. I recalibrate. Even though I might react or react, not respond or reply. I might react in the moment and look back at it and say, dang it, I don't act like that. That's okay. We let it go, we release it, and we recalibrate. All righty? Healthy resilience allows us to say, I need to pause. I need to take this time. I need to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an afternoon, the entire day. Shut all devices down. This is me time, mommy time, daddy time. This is my time. I need this. I need to breathe. I need to listen. I need to hear. I need to get quiet and just hear. Sometime I'll go out on my balcony and I'll just listen. Just sit and listen to the birds, to the dogs barking, to the wind blowing. It's been raining today, to the rain. Listen. Just be present. It honors the intelligence of the body and the wisdom of slowing down. The world is not going to fall apart because you slowed down. I promise you. The job is going to be there. The kids going to eat. And everything else is going to be fine. Just, you take that time, some self-care. Slow down. This week's gentle inquiry is this. This week's inquiry is this. What has my body been carrying that I may have learned to call resilience? I'm going to say that again. What? Put your hand over here and just, yes, and rock it out and breathe. What has your body? Ask yourself, what has my body been carrying? The weight of my body. What has it been carrying? And I've been calling it resilience. The pain, the aches, the discomfort, the unhappiness, the lack of joy, the frustration. What have I been carrying? Because I feel like I got to do it. I don't have a choice. I'm stuck. And so I have just checked and numbed out. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. I just want you to notice what comes up for yourself. Don't judge it. Don't say, oh my God, I shouldn't think like that. oh my God, what would God, I should be grateful, or I shouldn't, because no, just notice it. Just notice what comes up. Don't push it away. I can't think like that. I can't feel like that. Okay? Sacred pause. Alrighty. I pray that tonight I have made a clear distinction of what is toxic resiliency and what is healthy resiliency. What is toxic success and what is healthy success. That we have reframed it as self-care, the ultimate self-care. And it can include, your stillness can include a walk. It can include a jog. It can include a sitting at the beach and watching the waves and just noticing. But pay attention to your physical body. Notice what comes up in your physical body when you are feeling anxious, when you don't like what's going on around you, when someone says something that don't feel good. Notice it. Don't judge it, just notice it. Honor the intelligence of the body and the wisdom of slowing down. Honor the God in you. God is in you. The Holy Spirit dwells in you. Let this mind be in you that was also in who some of us call Jesus the Christ, the leader of our life. Let this mind, what was the mind of God? What was the mind of Jesus? What is the mind? He was a thinking creation. And even in the moments of crossroads, difficult decisions, challenges, sometimes the ultimate sacrifice, and sometimes the ultimate sacrifice are relationships we have to pull aside. And not all, some relationships, they're for, they are severed forever, and some relationships are for a season. You have to give it some space for a season. But being okay with that. Grief, yes. Grief, I hear you, Shay. Grief comes up. Grief. And it's sitting in our body. I know during the marathon, Dr. J talked about, is it possible that we're holding grief based on a way we've been taught to hold grief, and it's not innate to our body? And when he said it, I was like, whoa. Meaning that the trauma that we've experienced around living, right, when someone leaves this life, is traumatic because we no longer have them here. And so we've been, and it's been so traumatizing often through generations, murder, unaliving, and all those things that go along with that, that the grief is trapped in our body, righty? Sickness, cancer, tumors, heart attacks, all those things sudden. And all that is the grief. Healthy, unhealthy resilience, toxic resilience that's trapped in our body. Ask me how I know. I've been going through the process of releasing unhealthy resilience, pushing when now my body said it's time to slow up. Pause. Honor what I've showed you about this matter. Trust what I've told you. Trust your spirits. Trust your guide. Trust me. Trust yourself. I'm in you. And I've gone past it. And then I felt guilt and shame and disappointment and frustration because it placed me in an uncompromising place where if I had listened, right? I don't know who I'm talking to. If I had listened, if I had trusted what I was getting, I wouldn't have all this toxicity in my body, creating cancer and backaches and high blood pressure and inability to rest and all those things that go along with that. Inflammation of the body. inflammation of the mind, foggy brain, can't think, can't get clear, trying to fix this, running over there to do that. Yeah, that's because of the inability to trust the God in you. You know, they say God is knocking at your door, trying to get in. Acknowledge, become aware. Our ancestors, those that went before us, was very aware of the Spirit of God within. What just happened? Okay. Any comments, any questions? Thank you, Shay. Grief, that's a good one. Loss. But we allowing the process of acknowledging it, acknowledging the pain, the sadness, and taking the should have off of it, or it shouldn't be off of it, right? And remembering that we're all going through this journey, and it is never ending. Our life, our legacy, that's why we're doing these sessions, is to give you hands-on tools and experiences that you can apply to your life. So ask on over the next 7 days, we'll come back on next Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. next Thursday night. I want you to ask yourself, where in my body? Just be aware of it. So we asked about the uncomfortableness of being still. And then I want you to ask this week, where am I carrying it in my body? Where am I carrying it in my body? In your lower back pain, that's your strength. Okay. Queasy stomach, that's not trusting. Upset stomach. Chest pains, chest uncomfortableness, lung issues. Yeah, all that stuff, that's heart, heaviness, disappointment, frustration, fear. You see what I'm doing? Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to breathe. Don't be afraid of the emotions that might come with the tears. All righty? All righty. Any other comments? Any other comments? All righty. As you are, your right hand is over your chest and your left hand is on top of it. We're going to close with a gentle pause. We're going to take one slow breath in. Hold. And on 5, as you're holding, just relax in the moment. A lot has been shared tonight. I want you to fully release on 5, 4, and 5. May this moment of stillness remind you that you are not required to endure what your body is asking you to release. May your breath restore clarity. Keep breathing. Where stress has crowded your vision. And may presence soften what has been held too tightly for too long. Caregivers, those that are holding our loved ones close to our chest, to our heart, in our body. Over the next few days, I'm just going to ask you to notice, where are you carrying it? May you remember that healthy resilience is not found in pushing through, but in listening to your body, to your breath, to the wisdom that rises when you slow down. That's right. Breathe. As you move forward, may you carry only what is yours to hold. And may you release with compassion what no longer belongs to you. That's relationships, that's commitments that you've made, feeling obligated. I hear you, Holy Spirit. May peace settle where urgency once lived. May discernment guide your decisions. May your body feel safe enough to rest. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, and on the count of 5, hold. You're going to exhale through the mouth, 4, and exhale. May this sacred pause continue to meet you exactly where you are. All righty. Anything you want to share? Anything that you've gotten out of it tonight that you wasn't expecting? Answers? Feel free to put it in the chat. While you are putting it in the chat, I'm going to share something with you. Don't go nowhere. I got something for you.
Already mine in the spiritual realm. It flows to me now without struggle, without delay, in grace and overwhelming abundance. And so it is. I declare every door of favor swings open, every necessary resource reveals itself. Blessings pursue me, overtake me, and overflow because I am in divine alignment. I walk by faith, not by sight. My spoken word shapes my reality, setting miracles into motion. I transform every obstacle into an opportunity. Every setback becomes a divine setup. Overflow meets me at the perfect intersection of grace and timing. Wealth locates me through alignment, not struggle. My strategy is grace. My outcome is overflow. Divine favor surrounds me like a shield. Unexpected blessings track me down. Overflow is my new normal under grace. And so it is. I dissolve every limitation. I accelerate every blessing. Every God-aligned desire manifests in perfect timing. Oh, every attack fails, every plot crumbles, every trap is transformed into a testimony of victory.
Hi, I'm Iris, founder of Center of Empowerment. I empower.
My flow is unbreakable, protected, consistent, and perpetually fruitful under grace. Financial favor finds me swiftly. What I have multiplies, doors open before I approach. Unexpected increase and blessings are chasing me down. Overflow is my
Hi, I'm
portion.
Iris, founder of Center of Empowerment. I empower every unity, inner power, purpose.
Financial
People ask me,
freedom
why is it spelled that way?
reality.
That's because
All
we're very
streams of
intentional
income
and committed
Peace
about
governs my
building bridges of hope that goes beyond solutions for families and individuals that are in transition. And we do this by impacting the 4 pillars of life: inner power, purpose. As many of you know, that we are committed to leaving a legacy that will live way beyond Iris. Okay? And so we need your help. We need your help as a peer group support leader for our love group sessions that are held every Saturday. Healthy, safe, brave community spaces for connection, care, and shared healing. This is not therapy. This is love in action. And so we're calling on all compassionate volunteers for just 1 hour on Saturday to lead our support groups. You might be thinking, I'm not ready for that. I'm still grieving myself. I'm still going through the battles of being a caregiver. You're the perfect person. What you will find in you sharing and being your authentic self, that it not only impacts others, it will impact yourself. So the role of a volunteer for the love group session, peer group supports leader, is to help create emotionally safe spaces, offer compassionate listening, support guided group dialogue, and uphold confidentiality. It's just that simple. And another nugget, we don't throw you out there by yourself. We partner with you until you're comfortable, until you get your rhythm and how to lead the support group. So make sure you click that QR code that's right there I believe it's at the right of your screen or maybe the left, but it's a QR code. If you scan it, it will take you directly to the application. Who should apply? Empathetic, reliable, heart-centered. All backgrounds are welcome. Experience is helpful, but is not required because we are going to train you and teach you in the Coin PM Center of Empowerment System, the way we do it, okay? Blessings, and I hope to see you partner with us. Are you ready to serve? Come on, sign up and volunteer today for the peer group support leader. All righty, thank you guys again. Also, this Saturday, I'm going to step in Patreon. I'll be in Patreon, and that's patreon.com at Iris Inspires. And if you guys have anything you want to come over there and share, come on over to patreon.com at Iris Inspires, okay? All right. It's been a plumb pleasing pleasure, and I will see you guys next week. Blessings.
All day long. You don't talk about the pressure. You just do what needs to be done. But even hearts made of courage need somewhere to come undone.
Make sure you are connected. I am building a fresh new experience to better serve you with even more resources, tools, and inspiration. Go to www.irisinspires.com and connect to our email list. As a Black author of 19 books, I am celebrating National Black Author Day all month with a collection of my top sellers, the trilogy, which includes You Again, Not This Time, The Day I Forgave God, Breathe Book, Workbook and Audio, Dream Big Dreamcatcher, Collaborative Work Greatness is Your Journey, and my latest Daughters of the Diaspora Return Home, and a reserved copy of Sacred Pause, a 30 minutes one-on-one session with me. Limited supply. Go to www.irisinspires.com and get yours now. Or if you purchase my latest book, Daughters of the Diaspora Return Home, you will get a copy of Dream Big Dreamcatcher. All proceeds go towards COINPM Africa outreach. www.irisinspires.com.
So with that said, Sacred Pause. We'll see you on next Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. God bless you.